How's it going, guys? And welcome to another video. So today we're going to be talking about testosterone, the benefits of it, signs you have low testosterone, how you can prevent it from lowering, and also how you can increase your testosterone naturally. So stick around to the end of the video and we'll get into that. So firstly, when we're talking about testosterone, we have to understand where testosterone is produced. Now for us men, we produce it in our testes, but also you do produce some testosterone in the adrenal glands, and they just ride on top of your kidneys. Now why that's important is because your adrenal glands also produce cortisol, which is a stress hormone and released when you're preparing for your fight or flight, or when you're stressed out. And this can also alter whether you're going to produce testosterone or you're going to release cortisol. So don't be stressed out. So signs that you've got low testosterone are you've got low mood, you've got very low sex drive, erectile dysfunction, which is quite a common one as well. You've got low motivation, or you've just got no drive in you, which is obviously correlates with your mood as well. Another one is being depressed or feeling anxious and being stressed out all the time, being tired all the time, and also it's being overweight. So when it comes to preventing reducing testosterone, first you've got to understand hormones and how to influence your hormones, because your hormones themselves are influenced by your mood and what you do day to day, but also your mood and how you feel is also affected by your hormones. All right, so we want to influence our hormones as much as we can by what we're doing. First and foremost, to prevent your testosterone from reducing, you want to make sure that you are reducing your body fat. All right, so keep your body fat at a low percentage, because body fat is essentially, it's called adipose tissue, and adipose tissue has aromatase. All right, it contains aromatase, and aromatase is a hormone which your body uses to convert testosterone, which is a male hormone, into estrogen, which is a female hormone. Now, you may think, well, I don't want no estrogen. Well, estrogen is also important for male and females. Females tend to have more estrogen, but males also need it for many things. One in particular is testosterone. We all know drives your sexual appetite, or it makes you want more sex. So you're more sex seeking. So you're, but it's actually estrogen which initiates the act of sex. So it is actually important for men as well. All right. The more body fat you tend to carry, your body will use that aromatase to create more body fat. So that's why you don't want to have too much body fat, because aromatase promotes more production of fat. So the more body fat you carry, the more fat you're going to produce. So this is why, which leads on to, we want to have more lean muscle mass. So I would always recommend that you want to try to keep your body fat, if you're maintaining sort of like a normal frame, is around 15% or below. All right. You start hitting 10% and below, it's when you're going to start seeing abs. So you're going to start seeing more of a leaner physique, and that's ideally where you want to sort of carry yourself day to day, depending on what your training goals are. If your training goals are to build muscle, then you're going to go through periods where you're going to want to increase your body fat in the process of increasing muscle. All right. But other than that, you don't really want to be carrying excess body fat just because of a poor lifestyle or poor diet. Which brings me on to the next point on how diet massively influences your testosterone production, whether it going up or down. So first and foremost, you want to avoid ready-made meals, pre-packed foods. You want to avoid foods that are containing plastics for starters, and you want to avoid junk foods, fatty foods, which are made with like vegetable oils and like sunflower oils and basically trans fats. You want to avoid that hydrogenated and trans fatty foods. You also want to avoid low-fat diets, because fats themselves help to produce more testosterone. So this is not to say just go and eat lots of shit fat. I'm talking about the good healthy fats, like your avocados, your good lean meats, and so on. And that brings me on to plastics. So plastics themselves have a leaching effect, and they contain what we call xenoestrogens, and these xenoestrogens leach into your foods, and this has a massive effect on your endocrine system. And your endocrine system is basically your glands which produce hormones. If you're consuming foods or handling plastics, and obviously that's going to have a trans effect into your system and affect your endocrine system. So we want to try to obviously avoid as much plastic exposure as possible. So what forms could you be consuming plastic? Well, obviously we've got water. Water is a common one for everybody. Now, something you may not know about water and the bottles that they come in is the thinner the plastic or the softer the plastic is, the easier it is to transfer those xenoestrogens into the substance. So if you're gonna pick a water bottle and it's got plastic in it, then make sure it's a hard plastic. Other than that, I'd say stick to glass. Glass is the best alternative whenever you're dealing with like Tupperware, whenever you're dealing with like containers, or even using a glass drinks bottle, you know, instead of a plastic sort of drinks bottle. Another thing is like your toothpaste and cosmetics and products and stuff like that. Toothpaste themselves, you can actually get like metal tube toothpaste. Same with your toothbrushes. Try and avoid plastic ones. Stick to more like your bamboo or other alternatives. Also plastic straws, little things like that make a big difference, all right? You've got cooking appliances as well and utensils, such as Teflon. Now Teflon is being promoted all over the place at the minute, especially with air fryers. Everyone's using air fryers and a lot of them are actually coated with Teflon. Teflon itself is a massive endocrine disruptor. So what I would recommend is try not to have your non-stick pans with Teflon. Try to stick to more like your stainless steel or your cast iron. Same with these air fryers. Try to get a stainless steel air fryer. If you've got a Teflon coated air fryer, get rid of it. Dash it in the bin because that's making your testosterone drop.
No, I'm sturdy like a milli rocket. Skin clear, still look young, Andy Miller knockers. Money in my pocket. Don't call me a money pocket. Engine get to rocket. It sound like a thunder rocket. Yeah, I still love my baby even when it's toxic. Crazy like she Britney, but no, she don't shade a noggin. Russell Wilson way I get low and stay in the pocket. I get paid and do my dance like a touchdown.
Another big one is alcohol consumption. Alcohol is a massive influencer of causing increased body fat, which also, as we know, reduces testosterone. A main one that I would avoid is beers because they contain hops. And hops is a massive one for causing increased body fat and aromatase because they're very estrogenic, which is again the release of the female dominant hormone. Another thing as well which affects your endocrine system quite a lot is aerosols, like sprays and stuff like that, like Lynx, which you see every guy using before and after the gym. These are massive endocrine disruptors. I would avoid them at all costs. Look at more of a natural sort of alternative. It's the same with like your soaps, your shampoos, your deodorants, all them sort of products, because they contain so many different chemicals. A lot of them are disruptors to the endocrine system. So I would recommend going for products which are more like homemade or natural sort of products that contain less ingredients. So the fewer ingredients, the better, and the more natural, the better again. I know this is not really easy, accessible, but all I can say is there's a war on testosterone. It's almost like they're trying to lower it down for most men. So you've got to go out your way to bring it back up again. It's a fight, just like doing weights. You've got to fight through it.
No electric, yeah. It's getting hectic, 777, yeah. 777, yeah. Told him slide no electric, yeah. It's getting hectic, yeah. 777, yeah.
So another one that reduces testosterone is stimulants. So having too much caffeine is a big one, such as your monster drinks or your energy drinks in all forms, and coffee. Too much coffee is not great for you, although it can have some benefits. Abusing it is not the greatest. And the reason is because when you have these sort of stimulated caffeinated drinks, it causes the release of cortisol from the adrenal glands. As I mentioned previously, cortisol and testosterone are both produced from there. Now, it's a stress hormone at the end of the day, and anything that causes stress reduces testosterone significantly, all right? As well as affecting your mood. And another one which you may not realize is your pre-workouts. Your pre-workouts are full of caffeine. That's the main ingredient in them that gets you fired up and charged up. So instead of having a pre-workout, just put your music on. Another one is that affects your testosterone quite a lot, which you may not realize is sun creams. When you go on holiday, you may feel like, oh, I need to put a sun cream on to protect me from the sun. That is reducing your testosterone significantly. And the reason being is they contain an ingredient called oxybenzone, and then the oxybenzone is a massive endocrine disruptor. So if you're gonna use sun creams, which I'm not a big fan of, I think you shouldn't really wear them, but that's just my opinion. Go for a zinc-based product instead, because the zinc itself is a precursor to testosterone, and that helps you produce more testosterone in essence. Diet has a massive effect on your testosterone also. It doesn't take a genius to work it out that eating more whole foods and more healthier foods, clean meats, grass-fed, organic foods are gonna be a lot better than eating like your fast foods, your takeaways, and your junk foods. Chocolate, your fizzy drinks, all these reduce testosterone significantly. So in terms of diets, some of the things that you wanna look out for, especially in ready meals, so like your corn syrups, your cornstarch, your modified cornstarch, your modified foods. As I mentioned, certain fats, especially like the trans fat-based food, and just takeaways all in general. You want to sort of gravitate more towards your leafy greens, your clean meats, and like nuts and seeds and stuff like that. All these massively produce testosterone, and I'll explain a little bit why. Benefits of testosterone. They're no secret to any of us, are they? Increased sex drive, so a massive increase in your libido. It can prevent erectile dysfunction. Also, it can help you build more muscle and get strong as. In terms of helping you get more muscle, it also helps you keep leaner, because having more testosterone helps you to break down body fat. Not just that, you're gonna feel amazing. It helps you elevate your mood, so you feel good all the time. Not just that, having more testosterone makes you naturally more competitive. And as a byproduct of that, you become more competitive because you've got more testosterone. So, how do we build more testosterone? How do we gain more testosterone? I'm gonna show you. So, as you know, benefits of training help to increase testosterone. Doing combat sports or doing some sort of martial arts, boxing, kickboxing, all these are massively interactive, competitive sort of sports that help to boost testosterone. So although like doing a competition is great and it helps to boost testosterone, just the act of competing helps to boost it. Doing a more competitive sport is something that's going to keep igniting that fire all the time. Also, don't be no stranger to, weight training is a massive builder of testosterone. Let's take these off. Weight training is a massive builder of testosterone because it's influencing and stimulating the production of more muscle mass. And wherever you can produce more muscle mass, you're going to produce more testosterone overall. The more often you can train in a week, the better. The more you're going to stimulate the muscles, the more you're going to increase muscle lean, and then therefore you're going to produce more testosterone. So doing more weight training is obviously going to stimulate more muscle growth. When you do your weight training, the more you train, the better, because you're going to increase the rate in which you're building more muscle. And also, when you're doing the training, when you're doing your exercises, you want to center your training more around compound movements. The heavy exercises themselves challenge you more, and obviously you're going to help stimulate more muscle growth. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you don't want to get caught up in doing weight training and just doing isolation exercises, focusing on little bicep curls. You really need to go for more of a full body approach. So that's leg training, that's upper body training, that's everything. And doing leg training actually stimulates more testosterone production because you're working bigger muscles and you're challenging your body a lot more. So take that note. So don't skip leg day. So it's no secret, having more sex can increase your testosterone production. But it's not entirely as clear as that, because sometimes even abstaining from sex can build up your desire to have sex, which then is also increasing your testosterone. But let's not forget it, having more sex can increase your testosterone production by up to 70%. So it's a good reason to get back in the bedroom. Cold exposure has a great stimulation towards testosterone production as well. Thing is with cold exposure though, introduction of cold showers, ice baths, I mean there's even ice underwear, which I don't know who's going to wear that, but keeping the gonads cold has a profound effect on the production of testosterone. And how this tends to work is, it's more of a neural thing. It's because there's such a vast vascular system around the gonads. The cold itself inhibits the neural signals and pathways to the gonads. And then once they start to reheat and they kick back in, and the surge of all that blood flow emerging back into the gonads and the release of GnRH really helps to boost the production of testosterone. So a great thing to do is start your day off either by having a cold shower or ice bath if you can get in one of those, or to even increase your testosterone even higher is having a cold shower or expose yourself to cold showers right before training. So however you would like to fit that in, but that's how you boost your testosterone by tenfold. Just as stimulating your hormones has a massive effect on reducing testosterone, it also has a massive effect on increasing your testosterone. And one thing in particular in how you can influence your hormones is your breathing and your sleep. Becoming a nose breather, if you're doing it while you're resting, or like when you're doing day-to-day things, you can teach yourself to make it easier. So then the more beneficial time to do it would be when you're training. Although you're under more stress, the more you engage in doing it, the better you become at it, as anything else. Sleep itself is a massive influence of testosterone, and I think it's one thing that a lot of us tend to oversee or undervalue quite a lot. Getting more quality sleep on a day-to-day, consistent basis has a profound effect on testosterone, and that alone over anything else will do a job, along with good training and a good diet. So, without overcomplicating everything, sleep well, eat well, and train hard, and you're going to increase your testosterone already. Now with your sleep itself, you want to make sure you're getting quality sleep on a consistent basis. And again, incorporating sleeping through the nasals opposed to being a mouth breather is just going to increase that quality of sleep tenfold as well. So it's no stranger that diet has a massive effect on your nutrition. So some of the things you want to be consuming in your diet are foods that are like high in zinc for starters, which you can get from nuts, eating good lean meat sources like your red meats and stuff, and also foods high in vitamin E and vitamin C as well. So eating a higher fat diet as well is also a really good source of food to increase testosterone. But you want to get the good quality foods in. So eating like fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, having your red meats from good sources, again, is also another producer. And believe it or not, eating lots of good quality vegetables also helps to improve testosterone. The thing is what you want to be having or focusing more on is your green vegetables, and ideally your leafy green vegetables. And the darker the better, because these also contain, apart from other beneficial minerals which your body needs, is amino acids. Your green leafy veg contains lots of amino acids, and this is a massive one for like producing new cells. So it's not just about creating new tissue, you also want to have cell growth, because our bodies are literally built up of over 50 trillion different cells. So if we're eating lots of green leafy vegetables, we're getting all the nutrients that we need to build a nice solid frame, nice solid body, and boost testosterone overall. Another thing that helps to boost testosterone is the release of dopamine. Now dopamine is a hormone which makes you feel good, and a lot of us chase this by scrolling through our phones all the time. Mindless scrolling. Now this is not the same kind of dopamine. The type of dopamine hit I'm talking about is like, for example, from a cold shower exposure. If you're doing things that make you feel good, you're going to be releasing dopamine. Cold shower exposure has been shown to increase your dopamine levels by over 2.5 times, but it also makes it last for a long period of time. Now testosterone and dopamine are pretty much linear in how they're released. So if you're increasing dopamine, you're also going to be increasing testosterone as well. Another thing that helps to release dopamine is competing, by engaging in some sort of competition or just competing with other males in general. But with dopamine, what can massively affect it or disrupt it and lower it is light exposure, especially bright light exposure at night time. So this is where you want to avoid being on your phone late at night in bed, all right? So another little thing that you can start doing as well, opposed to supplementation, is natural herbs. Natural herbs are a really good one for producing testosterone. There's lots of different types you can take. Just to give you an example of a few of them would be shilajit. It's an androgen which helps to regulate your hormones, so it's like it gives your body a full MOT, but it helps to increase testosterone quite dramatically in males, and in females it helps to produce estrogen as well as other hormones. Also, you've got yohimbine. Yohimbine is a great one for a natural root which helps to boost testosterone, but it also helps, again, keep you leaner. You've also got ashwagandha, which is another androgen as well, helps to regulate the hormones, helps to increase testosterone. Then you've also got tonkatali, which is another natural root as well, which has been shown to be a great one for increasing testosterone. And then you've got fedosia and other mushrooms like cistanche. You know, the list goes on. So if you want to increase other ways of just getting bits of hormone production from foods and like supplementation, these are a list of some great ones to sort of add in there as well. So check them out, try them out, see how you feel, but don't forget the basics. Eat well, train well, sleep well, and then just be around other males, get yourself in a competitive environment, and your natural testosterone will increase. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've liked the episode. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.